Okay, these are my bird Figural Napkin Rings, which I've put swans in as birds, our birds. So this Figural Napkin Ring has a pair of swans at either end of the napkin holder. This ring is actually quite rare, even though I have a few of them. It is quite rare, trust me. So I have 3 of them, and I say it's very rare. And it's hard to make out who exactly made it. It's stamped WSP Company, which could be Woolcock Silverplate Company, Waldorf Silverplate Company, or Winstead Silverplate Company. Has the number 8265. Okay. Then there's this one with a swan, which has got a swan pulling a cart. The wheels turn on the cart with the napkin holder in the back, which is quite nice. There's a similar one like this with a cherub sitting on top of the ring and holding the reins to the swan. But in this case, the swan is just attached to the cart. Okay, and that's very rare too. Then there's this one here, which is a peacock, which you see a fair bit, so it's not that rare. This one, I think it's a little bit rarer. My example is missing a few feathers on top of its head. This one here is quite nice. There's a slightly different base. That was a round base. Then this one here I've only seen one of, and this is this one, and it actually looks genuine to me. This is the only example I've ever seen of this. It's got a peacock with its feathers spread. The ring is held around its neck, hanging in front, and is made by Middleton Plate Company. This is another peacock one. I think compared to these other ones, its head is turned around. This one's slightly rarer, also missing some feathers on top of its head. This is 2 pheasants dancing around the bottom of a ring on a circular base, and one of them sold for $1,135 US. Can't remember when now. In 2011. Okay, this one is similar, different design ring and base. And there's another one, also different design ring and base. And I think that's the same one, similar, but marked as made by someone else. One's made by Knickerbocker, that one, and this one's made by Babcock. Okay, I wonder if Babcock got absorbed by Knickerbocker. Here's one with a pheasant on top of a ring, and the ring has 4 ball feet, which stops it from rolling around. And there's another one of them, so I've got 2 of them. This one, you have a pheasant sitting on the middle of like a conical shaped base with the ring attached to the side. I think this one also has 2 pheasants dancing around a base, different ring, different base. Pheasants, eagles, looks like eagles. This one has a pheasant on the base of the ring on its back. There's 2 of them. Here's one with birds on either side of a ring with a base, and these beautiful vines with, I don't know what they are, flowers, buds, growing up the sides, either side. This one here has a small baby bird on a base with a ring behind it. This one has 2 small birds on either side. I thought they were chicks, but their wings look a bit big, so I put it down in birds. So this one has crossed branches, and the ring sits in between those branches, and there's a bird on the lower rung on either side. See it better here. This is quite rare. I haven't seen this very much. This one has two birds on either side of a ring on a circular base, actually on a ball. Quite unusual. You know, when these were made, see, all these parts had to be soldered on by hand. You can't cast all of this in one casting. You can only cast certain bits. You cast the ball, you got to solder that onto there, then solder the bird to that, solder the bird to the ring. The ring has to be soldered to the base, and they've done such a clean job as well. And then they plate it. They used to silver plate it four times. I'm not too sure what exactly that means. I mean, does it mean that you take it out and let it dry and then replate it, or do you do it for four times as longer? Anyhow, here's one of a bird on a branch. The branch comes from the base and wraps over the top of the ring, and the bird is flapping its wings on top. This one has a pelican or stork with a leaf hanging from its mouth. It's sitting on a base, as is the ring. You see this. This is quite rare, but it's extremely rare to find the leaf is still attached. It normally gets broken off. So the examples I got are good in that they have the leaf attached. This one has a large stork, or it's not a pelican, as this could be bigger, carrying the ring on its back. It's made by Simpson, Hall and Miller, and number 013. It's in the book by Gottschalk and Whitson. They say it's 012, but I say it should be 013. And it's certainly worth a lot more than $350 to $500. This is quite a large, impressive Figural napkin ring. Then you have this one here with a cardinal. I think it's a cardinal bird, and it's sitting on a branch that comes down from a base with leaves and strawberries and hangs over the top of a ring. So I've got a few of them. This one's quite nice. Nice dark patina. I've actually got 4 of them. And then I've got one which is different in that the stamp on the bottom seems to be the reverse. That would normally be a hint that someone's tried to copy it, but I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. I think in this case, somehow they made an error. Then I've got a whole stack of these ones with a bird on a branch on a leaf base with the ring on top. This is quite common. So I've got 4 of them there. Then I've got another 4 here. 5 maybe. I don't know, I seem to have lots. Then I've got one here which is like it, but the leaf is cut, so it's not exactly like it. So it's a different leaf base. This one has a big squawking bird on the branch with the ring hanging front. I have 3 of them. The bird got squashed down to the ring in that one. So originally probably more like that one. Actually, do I have 4 or 5? I mean, I've got 5. I've got 5 of them. Then I got the same big bird standing on a oval-shaped base with what I call them, legs, and the napkin holder looks like a bale of straw or something. Okay, so I got, yeah, it looks like it's tied up. See, it's tied up here. Slightly different engraving on here. So these were all sort of hand engraved. So not only cast every bit, hand soldered, they were hand engraved as well. Okay, and I've got some writing there about it. I don't know what it says, can't remember. You can stop there. I've only ever seen this one once, and I've got it. It's been replated. I don't think it's been like it's repro, because it looks original. The bird is the same bird as up there. The cherub occurs in many, that same cherub occurs in many napkin rings. That bee does, and this ring that has this edge on it. So it's huge. It's a very big ring. It's been replated. It is marked. It does have a is marked 279 underneath. I can't see the maker's mark, but it is marked. And here's another very impressive ring alongside of it, which is a little girl sitting in a chair with the ring at the back and carpet underneath. So you can see how big this is compared to the girl ring. Then you've got a cockatoo. A cockatoo just sitting on a branch with the ring on top, a couple of them, 3 of them. Then there's a cockatoo alongside a ring. Then there's some sort of bird seems to be flying off. Another one, slightly like a different arrangement. And then that's the same. Then there's this one here with the pierced ring, which is quite nice. I have 2 of them. Then there's this grumpy looking bird sitting on a branch. I have a couple of them. Then we have this one of the bird underneath some fruit or berry, about to eat it or something. Here we have a little bird next to a ring that has like these little square shapes to it. It's like a pineapple or something. So I have a few of them. This one here, the bird is sitting on top of the ring of the napkin holder, which is on a base. As is this one. This one has a very long tail and its wings are open. I put possibly parrot or eagle, I'm not too sure. It has a rather long tail. This one here, the ring seems to loop around as a rope and come back to itself, to the bird is holding in its mouth, which is quite unusual. It would have been very hard to solder that. And then there's this one here is a very fancy base. Very, very rare ring. This one here is reasonably rare. It's a parakeet, I believe. This one here is very rare, even though I have 3. It has a parakeet on like a handle that loops to a cart, and the wheels turn as well. Then we have these other bird rings, and there's a few very similar. Those 2 are the same. Those 3 are the same. This one's not the same, has a different pattern on the ring. And we know that this one hasn't been changed. It was really hard to change, to take the ring out of that and resold all this on. And I have seen it sold at auction before. There it is there. And this one has a completely different ring again. So there's 3 types of them. There's one, the bird just sitting on top. That one's a bit squashed. You have to stick that on an anvil with a sock on it, so you don't scratch it, to re-round it. This one is in much better nick. This one here is all bent, so the branch should be much higher, the bird should be higher up. So it needs to be carefully bent back. So you probably want to heat it up gently and then just bend it gently a little bit at a time. I'm not fussed, I'll just leave it the way it is. We have this one for bird on a square or diamond shaped ring sitting on top. And you can see some other ones in the background here. There's a horse pulling a cart, and here's a figural toothpick holder, which was probably made before they silver plated them and before they had improved their casting methods, or maybe it's harder to cast, it was harder to cast brass. But yeah, you see that one there. Then we have a bird on a wishbone with a ring behind it. We have here we're really squawking bird surrounded by a wishbone. Here we have a bird with a fan, a oriental fan for ring. This one's really poor nick. I think I was mucking around with it. I tried to copper plate it and it didn't work too well. And this one's a complete mess. I should throw in the bin. This one is really good nick. Okay, then we got this one of a bird on the base. I've got a bird on the base of the ring at the back and some fancy scroll work. This one has a bird with a nest, and there are ones with a bird with a nest of a boy kneeling over trying to steal the eggs from the nest. And this one is also a bird with a nest, but in a different arrangement. This one, the bird is hanging over some pierced string. This one has a little bird with branches, and that's the same one. And then there's one where it has a few more branches and the bird is facing away from the ring. This one has a tiny little bird on top. You can just see it there with leaves and berries. This one has a large eagle. It looks like an eagle to me, like bending right down over the ring. This one has an eagle with its wings spread with the ring sitting on top. This one and like a rock base, and this one has a different base, same sort of bird with a different ring sitting on top. And this one you have a very large bird on a triangular, curved triangular base. And this one you have a bird on a ring on a pedestal on a base. And this is similar but not the same. Well, it's not the same. Oh, the base is different. Look at the base. That one's round, and this one's got these leaves flaring out. I actually got two of them. This one has a eagle with a cannon underneath. I have a couple of them. This one has a bird sitting on a funny dome next to a ring. This one has some fancy scroll work at the bottom with a bird poking out. I have a couple of them, so that gives you another view of it. I actually have four of them. This one has like a very large chick, almost small bird. I think it's a chick, sort of standing next to a ring. I could have put it in the chick category. This one has two birds sort of facing each other with the napkin holders made by a complete sheet of metal which has been bent round, and it says something like what's it say? I don't put it on there. Birds blue, something to hide birds in blue, or sing hide. Too sure what it says. Here's one with that looks like a pheasant to me. Should have been higher up with the ring on top of its head and back. This one is pheasant type bird, or perhaps a duck or something. This is very similar, but a different shape. The base, different pattern base, and different shaped ring. Then there's this one which is a bird on the base, and this one two birds on a nest on top of a base. This one has two birds facing each other on top of the napkin holder. This one has a bird on a stump. This has, I think there are three birds involved here, one on top. I think there are two birds at the bottom, or maybe there are three birds at the bottom. Oh, two smaller ones at the bottom. Okay, and this one we have that large eagle again, standing on like a bar, and that would have been used as a knife rest as well. So it's a napkin holder knife rest, and I've got a couple of them. Then I've got this one with a really big bird with the ring hanging around its neck, hanging down. Then I have another big bird on an oval shaped base with the ring in front of it. I have two of them, exactly the same. This one here has a different base, and the bird has a rope in its mouth holding the ring up. And there are little balls underneath the napkin holder as well. And this one has a really big bird on a base, and I think that's a fly on the other side, or bee, hiding from the bird. Okay, and this one is similar, except the fly or bee is not around the corner, but on top of the napkin holder. Then you have another squawking bird, not quite the same as the other one I had earlier. This is an ostrich or emu. I think it's an ostrich. One of the legs is broken on it, unfortunately. This one has like a swooping bird on a fancy thick leaf base. This one has a bird sitting on top of I'm not too sure what they call it, some sort of stick stand. And you would have put your napkin through the middle of that. This one has a bird with a wishbone or some leaves on the bottom. There's a couple of there that says a hearty greeting, which makes me think that that may have been made for like a Christmas or something like that. I have a few of these ones here with the American eagles on either side. Very popular, made by lots of different companies as well. So I have quite a few that are marked Meriden Bee Company 146. 146, Meriden Bee Company. Some are marked Rogers Smith and Company, but that company was absorbed by Meriden Bee Company. It has the same number. Then you have another 3 Rogers Smith ones here. Then you have one that's very similar. In fact, it's almost exactly the same. Maybe the bird, no, it looks the same, but it's marked to Toronto Silverplate Company 1144. So it must have been quite popular. That would have been made in Canada. And this one here is different again, different pattern on the ring, made by Middletown. And there's another one here, different. The bases look a little bit longer in these ones, and the other ones, the rings look a bit bigger. I think they hang over the edge a bit more than those first ones. No, maybe not. Okay, then, so anyway, we've got a few more of them. We've got a few other different varieties. Another one by Middletown. This one's got a different base, same theme, to Toronto. There's this one here, unfortunately, someone tried to resolder it. See, that's how difficult it is to solder these things. Now, someone recently would have used a torch. In the old days, you would have just had a hot iron, to solder things on. So even with a torch, this person couldn't do it. I've got I think it's the same one here. I've got a better example there. And that's it.